Well, I made a comment on a channel earlier tonight. I started realizing that people, they're really not able to stand alone. It's their own fault because they don't want to stand alone. They still want to have the support of others. Now, it's okay to feel like a family, but the family sometimes can't all be together. And that's what's going to happen with all these people that are depending on all these other channels being on the grid if something should happen. But if the grid goes down, nobody's going to be there for them. You're going to have to stand alone. You better learn it now. I'll read something to you from probably 1976 by a man named Mel Tappan. Now, he really opened up my eyes. If you consider the fact that almost 90% of the American people live in cities, their food and their clothing comes from the labor of others, various forms of energy are processed and delivered to their homes by others, the shelter where they live was probably built by others, is protected by fire and from intrusion more or less by others. Anyway, by doing this, we lose sight of how vulnerable we really are through our own direct efforts to provide the core necessities which we require to support our own lives. Without really being aware of it, most of us have subcontracted almost all of our life support activities to other people, and corporations, and government bodies, and machines. And all that does is contribute to the sense of frustration which is symbolic of modern man if there's a life-threatening interruption of these vital services. You know, what would you do, say, for example, a week from next Wednesday, there was no gasoline at the pumps, no food in the supermarkets, no electric power or city water, the banks were all closed, and a mob had formed in the center of town, looting and burning out of frustration and fear. Could you and your family survive for a few weeks where you are now without any additional food or water, or perhaps with little or no police or fire protection? Huh? Learn to adapt to your circumstances. Years ago, a Marine buddy of mine, his wife had inherited a 3-story house from her aunt. Now, they lived there a while, and they wanted to sell it, VA home or something like that, but something had to be done with the, what do they call that? The lightning rod on top of this big, long, tall building. Well, there's no way any of our ladders would fit up that high. None. So my buddy got the idea, well, I got 200 feet of rope. He says, we'll throw that over the top there and tie a ladder to it and pull it up. Sounds good. Except we could not possibly throw a rope over the roof. And you couldn't tie a weight to it because if you did, you would damage the roof. If I remember correctly, the roof was made out of slate. So I jumped in the car, went down to the store, I picked up a roll of kite string, came back, tied one part of it to the rope, threw the other part over top of the house. We were able to lift that rope over top of the building, tie it to the ladder, get the ladder up there, tie everything off, and get up there and fix that lightning rod. You've got to adapt to your circumstances. That's something you got to learn. Learn skills, people. If you don't have any skills, you're not going to be needed. You've got to have some skills. I get a big kick out of it. There's a whole lot of women out there. I mean, there are women out there that know how to prep, can, and all this good stuff. So, then on the other hand, you got the other type. You got the kind with the low-cut blouses and the skirts, yanked up to their yin-yang, and they think that, they're going to use their charm to get by in a SHTF event. It's not going to happen. I don't want to feed them, do you? Huh? They've got, what use are they? You know, you don't buy a cow unless you're planning on either using it for milk or for butchering. It's got to have a use. Kitty, you got to get your butt out of there. You helping out, Sam? Hmm? What? You being a good boy? Oh, yeah. Got to get the cat up here. What? Say hi. Sam. Hey. Hey, look up here. Yes, I see you. He's the kitten. No, you're not. You're not going to spill my coffee. No, no. Get that out of your head. Cats. Anyway, that's... you get your butt out of here. That's what I wanted to talk to you. Learn to stand alone. It's coming to that. You're not going to have the support of all these other prepper channels. You know, you can... Sometimes you need a prepper channel, you know, to learn how to do some canning or something like that. But after that, people, learn to stand on your own 2 feet. You don't think ahead. We're not always going to be there for you. It's not going to happen that way. I mean, we would like to be. That way, you know, the more the merrier. But it's like a lot of people that you don't really plan for a hurricane or a tornado or a cyclone or whatever. But a lot of these people take refuge in their basement. So a big hurricane or something comes through there. I mean, say a massive one. It knocks down a whole city of 500,000 people. How long do you think it's going to take for the government to dig you out? You better have your tools already in the basement, like a pick and a shovel and a mattock, a ladder to get out of there. If you do get a hole big enough that you can, you know, climb out, you need a ladder down there. And then when you do climb out, what are you going to have? You got a city that's totally shot to pieces. Can't be used. Water running all over the place, garbage all over the place. That's what you would be waking up to. Don't depend on the government. Depending on the government is only giving yourself false hope. And I'll tell you, when you want to live, false hope ain't going to get you by. Okay, well, that pretty much sums up, but I just want you guys to learn, stand on your own 2 feet. Stand alone. You can't always count on somebody else being there. You really can't. Okay, that pretty much sums it up. Thanks for watching. Don't get to this point. Not good, not a good thing.